Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel here to discuss tomorrow night's game as Celtic head to Bethesda to play their game in hand against Aberdeen. I'm joined by Alistair to go over it. Alistair, it's a simple kind of tale of we need to keep winning games. That's pretty much what we have today till now at the end of the season.
Well, Josh, I completely agree. It's got to feel a massive game tomorrow night, but it's only going to get worse, pal. If you want my honest opinion, but no, it's win or bust, and this time I mean it. There's no, winning's all we can do, Josh. That's the stage we're at, pal.
I do think any draw, I think even any drop points would, for me, spell the end of this title race for Celtic. I mean, the thing is, with the result of the weekend, gave ourselves a chance where it looked likely with 45 minutes to play at Ibrox, and so I did it. Our chances were all but gone. But if we don't get it, the big thing in this giving us a chance is the fact we've got this game in hand, and I probably looked at the game in hand being called off as a bit of a negative when it did get called off, but I'm kind of seeing it as hopefully a positive that Celtic can use to their advantage to obviously get 5 points behind Hearts and then try and go on a run. But if we go on what we've seen this season, it's we can turn up for a 45-minute spell and then we go and play Aberdeen and look terrible tomorrow. So it's so important that we try and keep up the momentum as it says on the title, because that's what we need to do. Any slip up now, the league's gone in my eyes. I think it's also very slim chance that we can even, if we win all games, I still think it's slim just how well Hearts have been playing at the moment. But at least we need to keep that chance alive, and as you say, make Hearts win the title.
I definitely, mate. And I just want a performance because I know it's in there. It's just getting it out. And I mean, you seen that, and don't want to go back to Sunday because this is a reaction. But you seen how good we can play in the second half. But we can't, and you're big on this, Josh. We can't keep relying on 45-minute bursts because that's what it feels like.
It is because Kilmarnock were terrible for the first 45 minutes. And then we came out second half, get an early goal, and and then Rangers were terrible again first 45 minutes. And Neil makes the changes, and then we're able to really play a bit of football. The one big thing as well I've got with Martin Neil, and this is probably the one gripe tactically, we need to stop playing hoofball.
We've not got the players to play hoopball.
It's especially at the weekend. We're playing right into Rangers' hands, playing hoofball. They've got tall centre halves. Celtic need to play the football, get the ball on the ground, and that's what you're seeing in the second half. We need to stop playing this hoofball, just hoofing the ball to the channel for Maida to try and get. He's not that type of player. We've not got the types of players, and it's just going as well. It's just going to suit Aberdeen on Wednesday. Where we're able to. If we need to, Celtic teams play with the ball. I don't get me wrong. Sometimes you need to go long, but remember there was a problem is we've only gone long enough. Now I think it's flipped, and the fact we're going long far too much, especially at away grounds, I've noticed, and it's not working. You need to find that mix and that balance if we're going to have it at the end of the season.
Don't get me wrong, Josh. I've not got a problem with getting the ball in the box quickly, but that wasn't the case. That's not been the case recently. It's just been get rid of the ball as quick as you can, and that's what we're good at. I mean, as you say, and that's what will suit Aberdeen as well. Ramona, get the ball on the deck, play the game at a pace, and keep the ball moving. And if you go up, go for the forward. Because I've noticed this recently that when we went to go up, especially at Livingston, we kind of took it for granted that that was it. I don't want that. I want to go for, if we go 1-up, 2 or 3, and kill the game early.
Aye, no, definitely. I just think that, if you're up against, that's what made good Celtic teams good. We were able to, I look at Ange Postecoglou's team. We got one, we got another one, we got another one, and then game was done.
And
This
we've not
Celtic team,
got done at half time under Ange.
this Celtic team, it's too. I don't think these players have got ability to put in a full 90-minute performance. That's one thing I don't blame the managers for, because we've had 3 managers and it's been the same problem. The
Aye.
same problem under Rodgers, it was the same problem under Martin O'Neill, and also it was the same problem under Wilfred Nancy, because I know with the deficiencies that Nancy had, we did play some decent football in half the games. We just weren't clinical enough and we couldn't finish
And we were
the
too
chances.
open as well.
Aye, well, too open as well. But we did play some decent football, and then but the second half, or like maybe the first half of games, we would look absolutely terrible. So this has been a problem under countless managers, and I just think it is a lack of quality. I just don't think this team, unfortunately, can put in 90-minute performances. I think you're at the point where you're hoping that Hatate might play well like he did for 45 minutes at the weekend. I'm not saying this is right, but I'm just saying this is probably the reality of where we are. Hatate might play well for 45 minutes. Negrin might play well for 30 minutes, pop up with a goal. Tanecki might play well for 40 minutes. You're kind of just hoping that everybody kind of puts together a 90-minute performance, but not at the same time. I know it's a confusing kind of fact, but I think that's what you're looking at. It's just looking at there's no many players in this time that can put a 90-minute performance in. So you're just hoping kind of individuals can put in some sort of performance, like we saw at Ibrox with
And
Tanecki
you're
and
hoping
a tie.
if we do, you're hoping we put a 45-minute performance in the first half and kill the game. That's what you're hoping for. But as you say, I don't know about you, Josh, but as many games as we can kill off as quickly as possible, the happier I'll be. Because it'll make me more confident. And I
Aye.
don't just mean 1, 2 games. Make it 3 or 4 games, and then if you get a kind of 2-1, a 3-2, then so be it, because you're going to get that in a title run in. You're going to get that.
Been too many this season,
Aye.
You look at Kilmarnock, last minute penalty kick, when Rodgers was here the first time. You look at Mullow. I know we did win that game. But it was a last minute kind of last gasp winner in the end. You look at Rangers there, Livingston, Kilmarnock.
But we counted it. It was something like 7 games.
Aye, so there's been a lot of games in there. Aberdeen at home, by the way, as well, under Nancy. I mean, there's been so many, and it's you can't. I'm sorry, I've used this phrase so much this season, but it's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I don't think
That's all
there's
right
an
if you're maybe doing it here 2 weeks, but if you
Aye.
keep doing it, then you're really in trouble.
And people might say to me, and it would be kind of fair to say to me, well, Hearts are winning 1-0, but I'm pretty sure Hearts are, banging the door down. I don't know. I don't watch Hearts, weekends. So I wouldn't know. But, but the thing is,
But you can't, and this is what I'm annoyed at. Since when, and I'm not having a dig at Hearts here, since when did Celtic compare themselves to Hearts? We've got the biggest, I don't want to get into budgets again, Josh, but we've got the biggest budget in the league. We should be. That doesn't mean it has to happen every single week, but we should be winning more games more comfortable than we are.
aye. But what I would say, the whole comparison to Hearts, they are the benchmark right now, and they're the team that we are trying to get off the top of the table. So we have to compare. They're the best team in the league.
I
You
know what
know,
you're saying, Joyce, but I'm just looking at what 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 the let's be honest, again, I don't want to make this sound harsh, but Hearts are only top of the league because we fell through the floor.
I don't. I get what you mean, but I don't run with it. I think that that's probably a thing main factor, but they've still had to. If I'm pretty sure if you look at the Hearts can still, and this is not me. I mean, really, it is me sticking up for Hearts for sense, but I get the problem is part of that Rangers and Celtic have the. But the thing is, you still have to be there to take advantage. Hearts have still.
I'll give them that, Joyce, but
Aye, Hearts have lost one game to Celtic and Rangers this
and
season,
it was
and
too.
they've done their business against every other team in the league.
Aye.
So I get that, and I get to an extent. Maybe it's helped. I think it's helped. Of course, I'm not, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's the factor. I don't think it's. Oh, Hearts have won the league because Hearts have done what Rangers and Celtic haven't done in the summer. They have done their recruitment properly. They've went about their business properly,
They've been
and
smart.
they've been smart. And that's the thing, and that's why for me, right now, Hearts are the benchmark because at the end of the day, they have deserve to be top of the league, and that's why Celtic, Rangers, and all the other teams are trying to chase that because they were prepared in the summer, they were backed by Tony Bloom and the whole, analytics
Yes,
stuff.
guys, Joyce, I might be wrong, but I think they only bought in the two wingers for money. I don't
Aye,
think.
and that's when I say, look, people say, "Oh, but Celtic get the biggest money, and they shouldn't." But football doesn't always work like that. You know, the biggest team with the biggest amount of money in the biggest stadium don't always win the league. It's how you use those tools, that big stadium, the income that you generate, the income that you bring in through competitions. It's how you use that money,
How much,
and
how much you give manager?
aye, it's how you use that money. So forget the money argument. It's how you use it. You can give a manager 11, 12 million pounds, but it's how they use it, and that's the thing. We do neither. Celtic Rangers gave Russell Martin a really, really kind of big chunk of change to use to bring in his players, and he didn't really use it well. So it's Hearts have spent a bit of money, but they've also recruited extremely well.
And
So
they're getting the best out of the squad that we're already there.
Hearts at the moment for Celtic and Rangers are the benchmark in my opinion, and that's the reason why, because they're top of the league, and as I says, I can understand to an extent that it has helped. Even a Hearts fan would tell you it's helped. The Celtic and Rangers have kind of fell off this season, but Hearts have still been there and they've still been able to take advantage.
Their fault that we fell off a cliff.
No, it's not their fault, and that's what probably my point is. But in terms of Celtic, I mean, we have still got this slight chance, but as I said, you're just based on a basis of you need to keep winning, and it's hope. It's not even a chance. It's just hope. You're just hoping well because maybe
One
somehow.
thing I think we'll both agree on, Josh, if Hearts they slip up out with us, we need to jump all over it.
Aye, and that's why, and you probably gather this from what I'm saying. I don't think we will win the league. If I'm being honest, if I'm just being brutally honest, because I don't think we've got that in us to just if Hearts do slip up, I don't think we've got that capability of pouncing on that slip up.
To win it.
Aye, and that so. And it might come across as me being really negative, but I'm just saying what I believe. I just think that that's the big thing. It's holding me back to saying, do you know what? It's because I've not seen any evidence that Celtic can go on a run of 6, 7, 8, 9 wins.
I think if we were top of the league and again in the last day, you'd still be nervous, Josh. It's
Aye, of course it would.
Season, aye.
I think even big Celtic teams. No, I don't want to bring up the obvious thing here. I don't want to bring up fucking helicopter Sunday when obviously with the Motherwell game, but we all know what happened that day, obviously. But that Martin team was a really good side. So anything can happen if it goes into the last day.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And all I want today is what I've always said to you. If Hearts are going to win it, make them earn it. Don't give them it. I'm
What I
big.
would say is the last title race that Hearts were involved with Celtic.
Yeah, 40 years to the day.
So
Almost.
you don't know. I'll try and redeem myself a bit because I brought up Helicopter Sunday, but when was that? 2003 the Motherwell game was
No, in 2005. You were born.
2005. I was so aye. So I'll bring up a positive one when Celtic did win the title. You've got the Albert Kidd stuff. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, but so I think even it's not just because our Celtic team's poor. I would be nervous. It doesn't matter if it was even if Ange Postecoglou
Can I say something? I think if it was Rangers, we wouldn't be hopeful because Hearts haven't been in that situation. We don't know how they're going to handle it. And when I say handle it, Josh, I mean we say 4 games to go and they need to win, I don't know, 3 of them. You don't know.
It's for me. It's very similar to Arsenal down south. I look at it and I think it's similar. A team that's not won the title in a long, long time and have got a golden chance to go and win the title. Don't get me wrong, and hopefully, as you're saying, with Celtic kind of been there and done it, we can use that to the advantage. But you need to be in there with the last 4 games. My fear is I don't know
But
if we will because I don't know what Celtic team you're going to get.
yeah, yeah.
So it's all
That's
about being
fair.
in there.
That's a fair criticism.
It's all about being in there, and that's the big thing. And it starts tomorrow with this game in hand for me personally.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Josh, and I always said this because this was one game in hand. I get the Rangers Celtic game was a big game, they always are, but I've always said this year marked as massive because
But
it
I
is
know I would even say it's even bigger
aye,
because it's all right. Well, and I say we got a result. We managed to get some sort of a decent result. I still don't think it's a good result. It's a good ish result, but it still it suits Hearts at the end of the day. Like if you're talking about straight
yeah.
facts, but it still is a good result. 2-0 down at your
But
rivals at
as
Ibrox.
as we said on the review show that we were all 3 of us that were on Sunday said we took that at half time,
I know
so
definitely.
we're no
Um, but you drop points tomorrow. It's pointless.
aye.
It's pointless when we're back to the same. It seems to me when there's been a bit of optimism in a Celtic team
They
that
rip it
they get
away.
they get a bad result like a Hibs. There was optimism after the Kilmarnock result. They had a bit, but then they going, then the Hibs result happens, and you're like, right, we're back to square one. That's been the problem with a Celtic team too. Too often you get a bit of optimism.
Wakey.
You think it's got to be a turning point. I don't know how many times I've seen just the turning point. I think I must have seen it about 20 times this season. And then we get a bad result. So it's all about the game after, then the game after that, and the game after that. And then it's that simple for Celtic at the moment. If they
Yeah.
want to have a say in this league title, it's that simple. It's win after win after win after win after win. And that is the big thing that's holding me back because I don't see where this team's capable of an 8-9 game winning run from now to the end of the season that hopefully could win us the league title. Even if we did win all the games, Hearts win all the games. We don't win the league.
Nothing we can do. The
Aye.
best we can do, Josh, is get 10 wins and see where it takes us. That's all we can do.
Aye, no, definitely.
And if Hearts beat us over the 9 games by winning 8 of them, what can you do?
By the way, and I'll say this as a Celtic podcast as well. If Hearts win the league, fair fucks to them.
Aye.
because they've deserved to win it. You know, whoever's first at the end, I know this is pointing like the fucking obvious here, right? But whoever's getting the most points at the end of a league season deserves to win the league title.
I
It's
will,
simple.
I will say, Josh, but wait till the narrative. If we do pull off the impossible, or Celtic didn't deserve that, I don't buy that because
Aye.
you deserve it. You've got the most points.
Aye, in that sense, but I think obviously people might say it's because it's been an up and down season, but on no points basis, as I've just said, you do deserve it. But in terms of another thing, it needs to be more. Well, we're going to go into that just now. Another thing it needs to be really consistent is team selection.
Aye.
I need to know.
honest.
I need to know, and I know it's a squad effort, but I need to know in these games who's going to be the players that are going to get push us to this league title.
Well, if you got an idea in your head what the best 11
Do
is,
you remember at this moment in time, what our best 11 is? Now, this is if they're all playing to their strengths, and the problem is this season has been, there's been a complete lack of that. Sinisal,
yeah,
if I'm being honest,
no,
Julian Araujo at right back, centre halves, Scales and Trusty.
yeah,
Left back, Keenan Tierney, but I think Sirachi's, up there as well. I wouldn't mind who was in at left back if I want honest opinion on that. Midfield, Carl McGregor, Benjamin Negron, and at the moment Hatate.
I.
And it's the big if he plays like he played in that second half at Ibrox from now to the end of the season, we've got and as much as I've criticised Hatate, I really hope he does, because we've got it's the cliche in it, when he's on it he's brilliant. I always look at Hatate and go, see, when he's on it he's superb, but see when he's off it, when he got a game at junior level,
He's on it. He's the best player in the league, and I can't pay him.
Aye, but he's been on. That's the first time. That's the first time, on Sunday he was on. And I keep saying own it, the guy's going to get fucking bish. But I mean, when he's on it, he's brilliant. But that's the first time he's been on it in months.
Yeah.
I mean, you say months. I'd say
no, since Munich.
Aye, so come up for over a year.
How we going to say? How often do we say this season since Munich?
And as I said, I'm sick of saying he's on it, like, because it sounds like I'm saying the guy's going out and getting pissed every weekend. That's what it's, and it's like, but if he can, then but that's the big if. So I would say Hatate, if he's on form. The front three for me is pretty simple. Sebastian Tenecchia is your best winger at the moment, at this moment in time. If you don't like to hear that, then that's fine, but that's unfortunately where we're at this moment in time. I've got a lot of time for him, as I've said. I think, there's still a lot to come from him. But he is our best winger in terms of an output. That's not difficult, I get that, but he's still being our best kind of output as a winger. The right-hand side is Yang for me. Yet again, we're not spoiled for choice in the attacking areas, but Maida was terrible at the weekend. Again.
It was terrible when it was wide. I thought it was better.
Through the middle, he was terrible. Some of the chances he missed. I mean, he was slightly better, but that's no dice in Maida last season.
Like, can I break my own heart here and say you're not getting Dyson for last season ever again?
No, you're not. No, I know that. I'm pretty much aware of that.
I mean, in the guy's career, I don't think he'll ever have a season like that.
And I think up top, Sivan Chara, I think he is the best. Gletchy and actually, I would say still our best centre forward, but he's now training down south when Celtic are playing, which I don't know if
That's
you've
it.
seen
I
that.
didn't know
I
that.
don't know if you've seen that.
No, I didn't.
Basically, he's been Celtic were playing obviously on Sunday, and he's doing Manchester training with Jeremy Frimpong. So,
Aye.
see your theory about the whole player is that the appearance bonus and all that extra year. I think that might be the case. I
Well,
think that honestly might be the case.
that, can I be honest, Josh? That has been nothing. It's the only logical explanation
I
I can think of.
I've seen it, and I think even other people are saying that now. But what I've seen about as well, people saying it might be because the club don't want to fund them an extra year, which it wouldn't surprise me again from this board. But
Well, see, to be honest, Josh, and I'll be honest with you, I've not got a problem with Kelechi and actual no being given the extra year. But if he's there, use him. Might as
exactly, and see if it does trigger the extra year. The thing is, the way I look at it is,
well.
see if he's got if he wins us the league, right, and then you sort it out in the summer, but they won't because it's this board. Kelechi and actually, if you like it or not, and I know it's no difficult, is your best striker in my opinion.
He's the best at holding the ball up.
And getting other people into play.
Aye.
So that whole situation is just. But I would say I don't think we're going to see much in the actual, if anything. So I would say Shavan Chara.
The penny man, is there?
Aye.
Yeah.
I'd still say there was because I still think the other two have no proven themselves,
No, I
especially with
mean, I mean, there's no Europe, as in he
aye.
was in the European squad. If you get my drift,
No, I get me. I feel saying
we'll
there was
not
no
see
use
him.
for him. But I look at Shavan Chara. I mean, he's no kicked on, and I said this a few weeks ago. I think it was ironically in the preview for this game that was obviously then cancelled. And I said, I hope we're not at this point when it's a bingo, and we're at this point when it's Adamu, is he going to play? Is Shavan Chara going to? Yeah, none of them have kicked on the way I would have liked them to kick on. It's kind of like the same in the
I
midfield.
mean, I'll be honest with you, Josh, and I'll die on this hill. I don't think we're keeping many of the lone players.
Nah, I would tend to agree. But anyway,
Apart from
Alistair,
Karachi, maybe.
I would be doing all we can to get Marcelo Saracchi in. I think he's a great player. I think
Is that
this might be
argument again? No, don't fall in love with lone players.
no, but I think Saracchi. I think we would have a genuine chance of getting him for Boca Juniors.
Yeah,
And I hope I've made it clear. I don't think there's any chance.
I would love to keep him, but we're not going to.
We've been through that discussion and headed about it many times. But Alistair, what would you go in terms of the team tomorrow?
It's similar to you. San Izalo, obviously Arojo, um, Scales. I would maybe go. I would. We're going to have loads of the ball, I think. So I would maybe go Arthur and Scales, and on the assumption because he's meant to be good in the ball. So we're going to have loads of the ball, I think, because I don't think Aberdeen will come out, because they're low in confidence as well. So I'd play Arthur, because I know Murray was good in Stuttgart, but I thought he was shaky against Rangers in the
Ah,
first
he was
half.
smelling shaky. He led to one of the goals. Let's just call it as it is.
Yeah, but I think he might actually start Sarachi, and and I think the midfield three that you picked is the same. Negrin, Hitati, and McGregor. I think that's a no-brainer, and hopefully use the Ox as an impact substitute. I think that's how you
He
get the
would.
best.
I hate to say this, and I hate to, but Oxley Chamberlain. But that's you're gonna get that. The guy's not played football in fucking 18
That's
months.
why I'm saying I think he'd be better as an impact sub.
Aye.
But I think Taneke and I'm actually going to go with James Forrest because he made a good contribution when he come on. So wouldn't surprise me if he started. So and I'm gonna go Big Tom up front.
Aye. No. But no, to finish off as well.
I believe I've made it.
But
But
I hate
I
to,
do
and it's sad, but I that's what he is now. Unfortunately, it's just unfortunate. But he's just not been good enough. It was better the weekend. I will agree to an extent, but he's just not been good enough all season. But to finish off, Arsenal, I'll come to you to get your score prediction. Liam says 3-0, so you can't pick that.
um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3-1.
I will eventually get one right this season. We're literally in March, and I have still not got
That's
one
a
right.
good idea as well.
9 games, the 10 games to go, and I've still not got one right. I mean, come on, fuck. I mean, seriously. Right, this is going to be right. 2-0.
Well,
Aberdeen.
okay.
Aberdeen. Well, but
um,
the ironic thing is, most of the time I get it right is for the opposition.
I know, and
So I
that's
get the
it's
score
a
right,
bit
but it's the wrong way around.
frustrating. And can I just say one thing before we go? If there's a pitch inspection, can we please make it early?
No, because Alistair was halfway up to fucking Aberdeen by the time it was called off. No, I don't. I think the weather should be fine, so I think the game should be on. Oh, yet again, it'll be the second time I've uploaded a preview for a game that hasn't happened. So please don't do that. Please get the game on and please get it played because I'm sitting tired, fed up it. But no, but I'm going to wrap it up there for tonight's video, and we'll be back probably on Friday to react to whatever happened in the game. That's if it's on. But if it is on, we'll react to it.
We're doing good stuff.
No, right, if it will be on, and we'll react to it on Friday. But until next time, we'll speak to you later, and hail, hail.
Hail, hail.